Hi, I'm going to talk real quick about how the crime of rape, the trigger warning, we're going to be talking about rape and things like that, sexual violence. So, yes. So, today I'm going to talk about, just not really for anyone else, but just because I'm really bad at writing and would rather talk about how issues of sexual violence and rape would be addressed in a post-prison society, or in a society that has abolished prisons, and what that would look like. I think the first I think that a lot of times people no one ever watches this. I think that a lot of times people assume that okay, so the first thing that we consider is that though rape and sexual violence are grave offenses and create a lot of needs within a victim and someone who's victimized, that the offender still has needs and still has, in a sense, humanity, and that would be nice to think about that person as someone who does not have humanity, or to think about that person as less than human, and therefore having rights and needs that are less than human. I don't think that that is a very valid thing to do, because this person still has rights, this person still has a validity to their life, and live as human beings, and will continue to live in moments that pass and are not necessarily, just as a victim wouldn't be defined by this action occurring to them, would not wish to be defined necessarily by that action. But I think that what is important is accountability, that the offender acknowledge the harm that has been committed, and also acknowledge the harm that is committed to the person, and to immediately cease in these harmful actions, and to pledge forth to not do them again. And I think that that's something that is not that'd be something that has to be done. And I think that another thing to be considered is the idea that by putting someone in jail, that this should necessitate closure to the victim, because we know that a lot of times that the perpetrator or the offender cannot be put into prison because they are not apprehended. So the idea that healing or closure or rebuilding is contingent on an incarceration, I disagree with that too. And then we have to actually ask a question about what the fundamental role rape plays in a society, where I think that a lot of times when people talk about, oh, like, well, what will happen to rapists if you get rid of prisons and all the rapists will go out, there might be an idea that rape is this extraordinary act caused by a particularly morally depraved person who's so overwhelmed by lust in a situation, and therefore future situations, or in many situations, will continue to sexually assault or violently transgress and rape and forcibly penetrate more and more people. The idea that this is rare, well, I think that there are some objections that people have to that, which is that rape is something that is done by weak-willed men, and that always strong men are actually totally against that and totally opposed to that. When what if it were to be a symptom of a larger problem of the degradation and objectification of women's bodies as something that is usable, just something that is used for men, and that this is an action of degradation and taking, which is really to further the patriarchy, to perpetuate the patriarchy, is to inflict these psychic wounds onto people, so that when if we were to demand the ending of oppression and the ending of subordination of all people, you know, that's it. And as part of that, we ask for, you know, this will restructure society, and this includes restructuring patriarchy, which is where rape comes from, and also the prison system as well, though there are debates about whether that is the root cause, and I think that it is a complex, complicated issue.